February 27th is bringing the full snow moon in February, and today I'm just going to share how I'm going to be making some holy or sacred full moon water. Hi, welcome to Gently Being. So first up, I'm just going to share some suggestions for what you may want to have on hand if you decide to make some holy full moon water. First, you're going to want 2 candles. Preferably they can be white, but just use what you have available to you if you don't have white candles. For myself, I'm using 2 candles that actually used to be my grandma's, so there's also some ancestor magic that's happening with me using these candles. If you don't have big candles, it's okay because you can also just use little tea light candles if that's what's available to you. Again, it's all about using what's available to you and making magic with what you have. Next, you're going to want to have some water that you put in a glass bowl. I get my water from a Berkey filter that I have in my apartment, so it's nice and clean water, but you can use water that's from a lake or a stream that's nearby you. You can also just use tap water, or maybe you even want to take some fresh snow, let it melt, and use that water. Again, just place that in a nice little bowl, and then grab some salt, rock salt if you have any, or I like to use the pink Himalayan salt, or even just any salt that you have. Next, you're going to want to have matches or a lighter available. I like to transfer my water into a different glass container once it's done the blessing and have a nice lid for it, so just any sort of little mason jar I find works perfect. You want to have a bell, or I use a chime, and then an oil of your choice. You can also use some incense if that's something that you like and is available to you. I'm not using any today because it depends on who's around in my apartment, because for some people incense can bother them a little bit, so I'm just going to stick with the candles for this month. So before you start, you may want to think about just quieting your mind and bringing into yourself that intention to create the holy water, and to again have some quiet so you can just allow yourself to bring stillness to yourself and open yourself up to allowing the divine to be present with you, or whatever your belief system is, those gods or goddesses, to be with you at this time. I like to anoint the candles with some oil to prepare them for creating this sacred or holy full moon water. And sometimes it's nice to think about which little dab of oil you'd like to put on your candles. And I decided that I'm going to use some of this 4 Thieves oil that I have, because I would like to just bring in some of that wellness and health protection as going forward into the next month. I just find it smells lovely and is really great, especially during this time of the pandemic. Be very careful with any oil that you may put on the candle. You just want to use a very little bit. You don't want to do anything that may spark a flame bigger, and also again, you're doing it when the candles are not lit. Next up, you're going to want to maybe say a prayer or share a poem or a favorite song with the candles before you light them. Again, you're inviting and creating that sacred space and that sacred flame for your water. And then when you're ready, you can light your candles carefully. Always use caution when you are dealing with fire. And then you may want to hold your hands over it after you offer your prayer or song or meditation or poem, and just say blessed be over your candles. You can do this silently to yourself or out loud. And then just step back for a moment and allow the candles to start their flame. For this next part, if you are using incense, you could light some incense from your candles now and allow a little bit of the smoke to rise, and then decide to either hold your water over the smoke from the incense or above the candles. As I said, I'm not using any incense for February. I decided to focus in on the candles for my February full moon water, and again using that scent and essence of the 4 Thieves on my candles. So I will be again, using the candles. So next up, you're going to want to take your bowl of water, and you can just simply hold it over one flame. And for this part, you want to have a blessing that you've prepared to bless your water. So you may just want to invite the moon in and thank it and ask it to bless and make this water holy or sacred. I like to create a little bit of my own invitation to the moon and for the water and to recite that. And I encourage you to maybe create your own to help bless your water. You're then going to want to take your salt and do the same thing, say a blessing or a prayer for it, and hold it over the candle. Remember when you were holding both the water and the salt over the candle to have a nice distance from the flame. You don't want it to get hot or break the glass. Again, always use caution around fire. Next up, you're going to want to take your chime or your bell, and you're going to want to, if you have a bell, just play it 3 times over the water and the salt. I decided to use this Koshi chime this month because it is the chime made for the element of water, and due to that it's for creating sacred or holy water, I thought it was appropriate, but also because we are now in the season of Pisces and I wanted to just embrace some of that water element. So I'm just going to play it 3 times over each piece. And you may just want to thank the bell or chime that you used for providing its song and music. After that, you want to take 3 pinches of salt and add it to the water. And then once again, you may want to invite a prayer or meditation over your water to bless it. And at the end, you'll just want to say, "Blessed be" to your water. Once your water's ready, you're going to want to have a little glass container, preferably clear, that you can put your water in, or you could just use this sort of vessel to start your ritual. But once you have your water has been blessed and is ready, you're going to want to transfer it into a container that has a lid, a nice lid that you can close up. And then, depending on where you live, you want to put out your water so that it's blessed by the moon on the night before the full moon, night of the full moon, and the night after the full moon. Now, I live somewhere that's quite cold still, so for myself, I'm going to be putting it on a windowsill where I know the moonlight will come in and it will help bless this water and create some sacred or holy full moon water. After that, I can take it off of the ledge that I have it on. If you have it outside, you can bring it in and then just keep it on a shelf or your altar space or anywhere you would like, and then you will have it so that you can anoint your candles, clean your spaces with, anything that you would like to use your full moon holy water for creating sacred space, and maybe even, you know, anointing yourself with it a little bit to have some of that sacred full moon water on yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back next month to share how I'm going to be making my March full moon water, because I do change it up each month a little bit. As I said, this month I was really focusing on trying to bring some of that health and wellness protection in, so I use my 4 Thieves oil. I haven't quite decided what I'll do for March yet, but I'll be back to share that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit the bell so you always know when there's a new video. Again, I hope this video maybe piqued your interest in making your own holy full moon water, and feel free to adapt it and do what works For you, I like to just share ideas and suggestions. In no way is there a totally right way or a totally wrong way to do it. Just always be careful if you're using any sort of flame, and remember to use what's available around you. You don't need to get fancy tools, fancy candles. Just use what's available to you at this time and what speaks to you at this time. Once again, thanks so much for watching Gently Being.